going to be taking advantage of these various asset classes and currency pairs that we've analyzed so far. All right, so my name is CJ and I'm going to be taking you through the market follow for today. So sit tight and enjoy the part of today's session, okay? So starting off with the dollar index, of course, dollar index. We are seeing that the dollar index is beginning to gain more strength in the market. Earlier this morning, we analyzed how that dollar index has been in a range since the start of today. You can also see this. Okay, the range has been, the market has been in a range since I think a couple of weeks ago, about 2 weeks ago or thereabout. The market has just been tight in this range, and we've been expecting to see it break out of this range and continue trading to either of the two directions. The dollar on its own, we're expecting it to resume an upward trend all the way to the upside, to somewhere around here. Okay, so we're expecting it to trade back to somewhere around there. So all these other points of interest have become invalid because price have filled them up. So we're expecting to see price trade all the way to this level right here. So this is what we're expecting to happen today on the dollar index. Now, for this afternoon, we're beginning to see some strength return into the dollar. So anticipating a retracement into this level and then the sell-off afterwards, because so far so good. We've been on track with our projections on the dollar index. We've been projecting a weakness in the dollar for the past couple of weeks, since the beginning of this year, and you can see how that has been playing out. So currently we're expecting to see the dollar index retrace into this level right here and then sell off afterwards. So it could look as though the retracement is coming into play as the market structure has also resumed. In that light, you can see that structure has always been to the upside. You can also mark this. You see that all structure has been forming to the upside. So we're expecting that to play out. And then because of this range that the dollar index has been, I said in the morning that we were going to trade other currencies independent of what the dollar is doing. And other currencies, by that I mean euro, the GBP, the yen, and any other currencies that is related to the dollar or traded alongside the dollar. So I wanted to see how I would analyze each and every one of them of the dollar, get result out of it. From the analysis, it looked like euro was weak based off our sentiment analysis, and then GBP also was also weak during that morning session. So we're looking to take short positions on GBP USD and Euro USD. So to wrap up the dollar index analysis, we said it was in the range and it's still in the range. We expect it to trade out of that range into this level around 1.105 spot, 125 price point, and then sell off afterwards. Now for the higher time frame of the dollar index, all the way from H4 to H1, they are all telling us the same thing. It's consolidating at this moment. When we see an expansion, it should expand into this place and then sell off. This expansion is going to be a weekly and a daily time frame retracement and then the sell off afterwards. Okay, so that's what we're expecting to play out on the dollar index, and you can see how that is taking effect. Now, to the most interesting part of the analysis, which I believe no one should miss at all for anything, is the analysis and the trade call for the day. Usually during our market call, we like to give trade call after running all through the market, looking at the various things we're expecting to play out. We'd like to give our trade call for the day, where we show you the particular pair from our analysis that we're looking to trade and possible entry and exit points. So for today, one of our trade calls was Euro USD. We said we're looking to see trade into this level here. Okay, this is our box pattern, which is very unique to what we analyze here on the market color. We wanted to see Euro USD trade into our box pattern right here, and we had already marked that out. And for those who took the trades, congratulations to you. For those who missed out on the trade, this is why you shouldn't miss the morning market color. It is very, very important. When you're done with all the starting activities for your day, whether you take your prayers, take your bath, brush your teeth, the next thing you should be looking out for is the market color, because we give you insight as to what we're expecting to play out And in many cases, even the trades we're going to take for the day, we're going to show you during the market color. So during today's market color, we analyzed for a weakness in the euro, and we're expecting a sell-off on euro USD. We marked out this place. If you can check far back at the time we did the market call somewhere around 8 a.m. Market was somewhere around here. We said we wanted to trade into this level here and sell off. You can see that markup is still there. So market traded into this level where we anticipated. We put a very tight stop, and for those people who use brokers, that I can allow them take 10 pips stop loss and with a good amount of spread and a good leverage. You can take the 10 pips stop loss around here. You can see how that wouldn't have stopped you out and the market will be trading in your favor. So this trade is still very much active. You can see the analysis that we use, the left shoulder, and then the sweep of this liquidity. Price came back and swept the left shoulder, broke structure properly, and then returned into the left shoulder. Now we're seeing a sell. For today, we're expecting the market to sell into this level right here. Okay, we're expecting to sell first of all into this level. Our overall entry for a buy is somewhere around 1.06000. That is where we're looking for a buy. So it sets our buy signal right there. Just analyze all the way from the daily time frame. We said we wanted to see price retrace into this level here. Let me take this a little up. Yeah, we said we wanted to see price retrace into this level and then we'll buy it. But then, like you know my style, I wouldn't want to put my take profit so close to where I'm expecting another entry to the opposite direction. So I set my take profit somewhere around here. If price still shows me further weakness, then I'll take another round of sell into this level. But for now, this is where I'm terminating myself from. So back to the 1 hour time frame, you can see somewhere around 10 a.m. this morning, price traded into our point of interest. Now we're seeing further sales. So my take profit is somewhere around 1.07 260, 1.07260. So those who are in the trade, you should be exiting at 1.07260. That's where we're exiting our buys from. Okay. Both those watching on YouTube, those from Telegram, those here on Zoom, make sure you're exiting your trade at 1.07260. And now the point where price currently is, if we see price break this structure here, we're going to be breaking in from. We bring our stop loss to entry and then even into some profit. This may be 10 pips in profit, so you don't go home with profit. Okay, so once price breaks this 1.08188 price point, we're going to break even into profits. Okay, this is going to be a very good trade because it's about 1:11 or 1:10 at least in terms of risk to reward ratio. So make sure you're taking advantage of these trades that we're calling. We've been calling trades as far back as 2023 on live market color. So always make sure you're taking advantage of them when we call the trades out. So this is my trade on Euro USD, and I hope you all are also going to take part of it, and let's make this money together. Now, finally on GBP USD. Now, GBP USD didn't give us the entry we're looking for. If you remember in the morning, we drew this line right here, okay? We said we wanted to see GBP USD break this low before we started selling. So I didn't see GBP USD break this low. So I was like, since I'm already exposed on Euro USD, I would rather stay there. But for GBP USD right now, I want to see it break this low. Once it breaks this low and close below, then I can now start considering a sell entry on GBP USD, okay? Overall, on the daily time frame on GBP USD, we said we wanted to see it retrace into 1.28300 price point. That's where I want to see GBP USD sell into, okay? Because I'm seeing this old resistance right here might initiate price to resume the buy back up. And then another thing again was that if you feel this level, you see that this old resistance falls somewhere around 50%, which is quite decent. But then the best place to I'll be expecting a GBP buy from is somewhere around here, between the 61.8 and 78.6. Usually for those who trade ICT, it's called optimal trade entry. But for me, I'll just say it's a discount point to reduce the complexity in the terminologies that we use. So that is a good discount point to buy GBP from, somewhere around here. Okay, so I'm expecting a buy of GBP around here. So for that reason, I'll be selling it on the lower time frames. That is why I'm looking out for sell entries. You can see that there's been a market structure shift. There's been a proper retracement. Now we're expecting a sell-off on GBP. So I want to see it close below here. You can see it is breaking right here. Once I see it close below here, I'll wait for the retracement and then I'll sell GBP. So this is what I'm expecting to play out on GBP. Right now on 5 minute time frame, you can see that there's been a close right? So what we'll be waiting for right away is a retracement. Once that retracement happens, we'll be selling GBP USD. Okay, so GBP USD is getting ready for a sell. So you too, you should be getting ready for a sell. And what this is what we want to see, like we anticipated in the morning. In the morning, we said we wanted to see something like this, retracement, and then a sell. I remember we had a markup like this on GBP USD in the morning. So we'll be looking forward to selling GBP USD from this area. Now, my concern is that GBP USD has gone to place the high of the day far above. That is about, I think, about 50 pips. Okay, 30 pips from where we intended to enter. So if you can accommodate a 30 pip stop loss or a 35 to 40 pip stop loss on GBP USD, this is going to be a good trade. The price resumes back into our entry. So for those people who can, if you can accommodate a 40 pip stop loss on GBP USD, then you can take this trade, and I'll drop the markup right here and maybe on the market color group. So a 40 pip stop loss on GBP USD, extend this guy all the way, and then I'll take profit on the 4-hour time frame. It's not, yeah. So on the 4-hour time frame, this is where we're anticipating GBP to get to. So we're going to drag this all the way here. This is going to be a 1:3 trade, but it's going to be a decent amount of pips to be covered, 130 or thereabout. So this is what you're expecting on GBP You can also extend, if you wish, all the way to this 200 pip range, because we're looking at taking a buy from here. So GBP for a swing trade is getting ready. I just want to see a candle close below here. Once I see that proper candle close, we've seen on 5 minutes, I want to see on 15. As 15 minutes closes this candle, I'll be taking my sell on GBP. Stop loss above here, take profit right at the place that I highlighted, which is around 1.27325, 1.27325. That's why I'm taking my GBP USD sell too. Okay, so if you're ready, you can take that trade alongside we here at Value Flow Trading, so that we can secure some profits together. Okay, so that will be all for GBP USD and Euro USD. Once again, congratulations to those who took the sell on Euro USD. Okay, those who took the sell on Euro USD should be in some decent profits by now. You can see how far the market has moved from our entry, which is very decent. For those who have not, you can look out for our anticipation on GBP USD and also grab something from that trade when it finally plays out. Okay, so for GBP USD, we're just waiting for the close. For Euro USD, we're already in our sell. For GBP USD, waiting for the proper close of 15 minutes time frame beyond this price point, and then we take our sell. Our stop loss is at 1.29790, and then our take profit is around 1.27325. Okay, this is what we're looking out for today. So right now we're going to continue our analysis as we look at gold against the dollar. We're also going to be looking at the yen basket and one or two other yen pairs. So Lekon is going to take it off from
All right, welcome back once again to the Market Color, brought to you by the Value Flow Trading team. That's a very great analysis from CJ, and thank you, Father CJ, for giving us that sweet entry this morning. I also enjoyed that based on association. All right, yeah, that's what we call blessed by association. So let's quickly move to the analysis of the precious metal. Just as we said today, that all we are looking at is that we want to see a rally of the precious metal into our POI, and from there we are going to be checking out where exactly we are heading to for the pullback, but knowing fully well that the overall trend has been a push all the way to the upside. All right, and also remember, on the daily time frame, we established the fact, if you are on our mailing list, what we sent out this morning is that we want to see it, push a bit to the upside, then we can easily follow to the downside, which becomes much more clearer on our 4-hour time frame. Now, if you see the 4-hour time frame right now, you are going to observe that price currently, where we expect price to get to, is this particular level here to sweep liquidity. However, this morning we said we're on the lower time frame where we saw our order block and we are waiting for entry signature. If it plays out there, we can take our 1:2 or 1:3 and get out because we know where price is still coming ultimately, which is to come and sweep liquidity at this top. But this is our analysis for the week, meaning we expect it to rally first, then short before it continue its price discovery. All right. So if you check the 15-minute time frame, just as we said this morning, on the 15 minutes, you are going to observe where price actually came all the way into. Price tap into our order block just as we have it marked out this morning. And we said when we see our entry signature within that zone, we may easily take it with a very short SL. All right. And if you look at it on the 5 minutes, we saw our entry signature right there. And that is why price did about 1:2, but the target is 1:3, of which you are still expecting it, to still pull back more at the New York, more as more liquidity comes into the market for the New York session. And just as you can see, that price is also, pushing all through. So gold will test your, temperament, but make sure you don't fear. All right. But where we are still overall level where we are still expecting price to get to for the buy to continue is that price should still sell to come and clear liquidity below here and probably clearing the Asian low, and we can continue to buy to this level before we now resume the proper sell. But if you follow this particular markup, just as we said this morning, after the analysis played out, after our entry signature showed up, that is 1:2 to this point around, yes, that should be around 1:2 to that level. Yes, exactly. So, but our TP is we want to get our 1:3, which is to be somewhere around this level here. Okay. So let's wait to see what price does in the course of the rest of the day as we start the New York session proper as liquidity comes in. So from there, let's quickly take a flight to Japan to see what exactly is going on the yen basket. Now, for the yen basket, if you look at it from the 4-hour time frame, you are going to observe that today we expect to see the long of yen. However, it has just been ranging seated inside. If you look at the mail that we sent earlier yesterday, you are going to see this markup exactly. But yen is still seated currently inside that range, just as we explained this morning. But we expect it to rally all the way to come and take out liquidity and trade into the daily fair value gap, just as we have it here. You can see it much more clearer on the daily time frame. That is the daily fair value gap where we are expecting the yen basket to rally into. And when it gets there, then we can begin to see some little pullback of sell, and knowing fully well that we still have much more liquidity, and the yen is known for that, to build liquidity and to also grab it. And if you look at it on the 4-hour time frame, the same thing is playing out just as we want. Okay, so if we are expecting to see the yen long of the yen basket, what should we look out for GBP JPY? Now, for GBP JPY, just as we said this morning, that price is still very much, still going to push to the upside. That is why we're waiting for price to get to our entry early this morning after the analysis. You remember what we said, where we said we want to see price, and this is exactly on the 4-hour order block. But currently, price has not really gotten there. And if you look at it on the lower time frame, since morning, it's been a ranging market all through. See what price has just been doing since morning. It has just been playing within the range all throughout since morning. So all we need to do is remember the patience win the game in this industry. So just wait until price gets to the 4-hour order block where we expect to short the GBP JPY. So when price gets there, then we can easily look out to short it. And just as we said this morning too, that as JP USD, as CJ is looking at sell for GBP USD, we're also looking out to sell GBP JPY. But price has not really gotten to the POI. So we may still see the last leg of GBP JPY all the way to this level where we already marked. Then we begin to see the short to the downside. So lastly, before we call it a day, let's quickly take a look at what is going on Euro JPY. If you look at Euro JPY, you are going to observe that we have a similar price action, although Euro JPY already traded into the POI, but we did not see the follow through of liquidity. And we know why that is happening today, being a Monday, the yen basket. We are most likely to see a very quiet day for Monday. However, if this happened today, being Monday for the London and part of the New York session, then we should expect that we are going to see much more move during the Asian session at night. So on Monday like this, when we have a very quiet day for the MPS, then know that the middle of the night for the Asian session, we are going to see more liquidity and much push in the market. All right, now on the 15-minute time frame for the Euro JPY, what exactly are we looking out for? You are going to observe that we've not really seen a very clear market structure shift for Euro JPY, even though price already traded into POI, but that did not give a very good entry. Yes, we saw the entry signature on the 15-minute time frame, but we did not see the proper follow through. All right. However, there's high probability we still see price, trade into this shoulder that we have here. Yes, it is a very clear shoulder. If you look at it, even on the 5-minute time frame, it becomes much more obvious to you. You can see this is the shoulder, this is the sweep, forceful break. So price is much more likely to come and trade into this shoulder, just as we have it at this top here. And you can see the IOFUD just here, fair value gap to the left and right, and we are expecting that this breaker now, that used to be an order block, but now a breaker. So we expect that when price get there, this should be a reference for price to start coming down. So moving forward in the course of the New York session, the high tendency that we'll see that happen is this, that we want to see price, come all the way into that shoulder region, and we should expect to see something like this moving forward. All right, and that is just about 12 pips SL. And what are we going to target? We are going to target the Asian low, which is somewhere around this level, which is 70 pips. So that's about 1:5. All right, so that is the outlook for Euro JPY. But for the precious metal, we've seen our markup still there, and also for GJ, price is still ranging in between. And remember, if we don't see a entry for Euro JPY and GP JPY today, Asian session is still very much there, that we expect price, to get into, and we can easily trade across board. All right, so that is it for the PS, for the precious metal, and also for Euro JPY. And remember to always follow our social media handle, and also share the top down analysis link for more people to take advantage of what we are giving out for free here. All right, so till we meet again tomorrow morning, 8:30 a.m. is the time. Make sure you trade cautiously and use your proper risk management strategy. Before we call it today, if there's any question, you can easily type in the chat box. Let's quickly address that before we call it a day. Is there any question, please? All right, what's your question? Okay, he said, what is our dollar bias? All right, our dollar bias still remains, we still want to see a little strength in the dollar. All right, people don't like, want to see more strength in the dollar for it to push a bit to the upside, which is giving us much more clarity that the dollar correlated pairs should sell all the way to the downside, because we are expecting more strength in the dollar today. Just for it to pull back for the continuation of the sell, just as we analyzed earlier. All right, so this is it here. If you see it, this is it on the, you can see. So just as we've analyzed earlier, so we expect the dollar to rally a bit to the upside before we see the push, then continuation back up and the full sell day. All right, so that is the analysis for the dollar just right there. So if there's any other question, you can easily type in the chat box before we call it a day. All right. If there's no question, so this is going to be the end of the market color for today, being Monday, 24th, 2025. Make sure you trade cautiously and use your proper risk management strategy. And they can share me. Cheers and God bless.